You know when you like burp but then blow it out quietly?
Yeah.
You know, like when you're in public or you're at like a conference or you're on a first date and you go like, oh yeah, I love meeting you. Thanks so much for responding to my messages. You know, I have to like...
But then you like blow it into the face. I remember I was at a thing one time and I'd eaten poorly beforehand.
I genuinely thought you were about to say you'd eaten poo. And I was like, what the fuck is this story, Gav? Is that the end? The world's shortest story. I was at a thing once and I genuinely ate poo. All right. Christ.
1, 2, 3. The Meandering Movie Podcast, airing through your ears. Gavin brings the brains and laughs and edits through the tears. Gary's got the chaos and the taste that's razor sharp. Together they're a double act, a podcast work of art. From deep dives to wild rides, no film is left unturned. Gavin tries to keep the structure tight while Gary lets it burn. Once the calm, the other storm, listening if you dare. When they talk, you'll laugh so hard, you'll get for some air. The Meandering Movie Podcast, yeah!
Good evening, good morning. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast. We are here today to record, to give you another essence of us.
Essence of us?
Into the ears.
We should start selling our bathwater like Sydney Sweeney.
And Bella. What was Bella? Who was the original? The gamer girl.
Bella Ramsey? Bella Hadid.
No, Bella.
Bella.
I can't remember. I can't remember who the original was, but Bella. I was going to say Bella Thorne, but that's not right. I can't remember. But yeah, she was the original bathwater girl. And then Sydney Sweeney's now doing it because men are gross.
Men are gross.
I
mean, there might be women out there who want to buy her bathwater.
Come on, Gav.
If you're a woman and want to buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, let us know in the comments on Spotify or YouTube. In this episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast, this is episode 4 of season 4 of the Meandering Movie Podcast. Speaking of Sydney Sweeney, we're going to be discussing movie stars.
I'm Gary Copeland Boyd.
I'm Gavin, Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, Stuart. Don't forget, I'm going to do it up front because I forgot to do it last time. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, follow, like things. Descriptions are down below. If you're liking what you're listening to, don't know why yet, then make sure you're following us.
What do you do with bathwater of a celebrity?
A bath in it?
Do you reckon? But like, you only get a little. It's not like you get a bath's worth. You get like a small jar, I think. So like,
yeah,
what do you
probably
then
like a wee thimble amount.
And you pour that into your own bath.
But if you think about it, the amount of bath water you can give people is infinite. Just have a bath every night.
No, for sure. It's like, from a marketing point of view, it's brilliant. But what I'm saying
you
is...
also don't need to get into the bath.
Did you know that holy water... There's rules around holy water.
Wow, we're really just so off topic already.
But it's...
Jesus is the original movie star.
It's got the abs for it. No, for real. There's rules around holy water, which I'm wondering if bath water is the same. So holy water... Let's say you've got like a liter jug of holy water, right? If you use up 49 or 499 milliliters of the holy water, blessing shit.
Just blessing shit.
My sofa's cursed. Bless the sofa.
This is cursed. That is cursed. Everything's always cursed with you.
This phone's cursed. Holy water. You know what I mean? Like Gavin, and then you puff into a burst of smoke and scream running out the room. Whatever. 499 milliliters of it, you're left with 501 milliliters of holy water. If you top up that bottle, then all of it becomes holy water again.
So you don't have to re-holify it?
No. As long as you don't go past a certain level. So there's if you put a little line on the holy water jug, got it blessed by the Pope, you have infinite holy water.
I feel like this is,
and it's technically never ending, because once you've got a liter's worth, if you add 999 milliliters to it, as long as you don't overdo
what we can expect from Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
Well, this is what I was saying. If you get some Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, could you eventually make an entire Sydney Sweeney bath from a drop? You know, can you feel...
What a weird image to be like, this bath is full Sydney Sweeney bathwater, but she was never in it.
Over the last week, after buying 10 milliliters of Sydney Sweeney bathwater, I added 9 milliliters, and then I added 18 milliliters to my 19 milliliters, which gave me 48 milliliters. Then I added 47 milliliters to my 48 milliliters, and eventually you would have a liter.
There is going to be someone out there who is deranged enough to buy enough of her bath water to make up a bath worth of water to then get into
Sydney Sweeney bath, yeah. by holy water rules. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, the Catholic Church.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Catholic Church.
Thank you, Sydney Sweeney.
Thank you, the Pope. Thank you, Sydney Sweeney.
Those three is same level. Sydney Sweeney, Pope, Jesus Christ. All three of them.
Oh, man.
So yes, in this episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast, we're going to be talking about movie stars, but more specifically, are movie stars relevant anymore?
My mum showed me a picture of
I thought you were going to say your mum's a movie star.
My mum's relevant. My mum showed me a
My
picture.
mum's is so irrelevant.
My mum showed me a picture of the Pope with a little penguin, and the penguin was wearing a Pope hat, and she was like, "Oh, look at that, Gary! Isn't that cute?" And I was like, "That's fucking AI, you dick."
I mean, that's another thing with AI. Are movie stars relevant anymore? You just make them up.
What's that got to do with my Pope penguin picture?
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep us
somewhat
on track.
Keep us moving. Are movie stars relevant anymore?
The reason I ask this, and the reason we are discussing this, is because it feels like now movie stars or movie star-led films don't do what movie star-led films used to do.
Pull in a crowd.
Pull in a crowd.
Yeah.
If you look at the big names of like the 90s, the first one that comes to mind is always Will Smith for me. People like a Will Smith, like he was...
Men in Black, Wild Wild West.
He was Independence Day.
Independence Day.
He was on top of the world. He was a massive box office
Robin
draw.
Williams in the 80s. Jack Nicholson.
Kurt Russell at some point.
Kurt Russell.
Like
I feel like Kurt Russell's kind of done better. Like a Brandy. He's just gone better with age.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's always been great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like where he started and where he is now, you're like, God damn, Kurt Russell's killing it.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was a big movie star at the time. Like these were people who like...
And they're all sunsetting. They're all sunsetting. But
They're all
right.
sunsetting, but it was like you could put a movie on their back marketing-wise. You'd be like,
Yes.
starring Tommy Lee Jones and Tom Hanks.
And that would be enough to get people out.
And people are like, oh, I like those people. I'm going to go see them. Whereas now you... And here's a perfect example. You take the movie Thunderbolts, which is... Here's Thunderbolts. It has Florence Pugh, which she's big online. Like people love
Florence
her.
Pugh? David Harbour.
David Harbour, Sebastian Stan. Like these people have big followings online.
Wyatt Russell, speaking of Kurt Russell.
Why Russell? You know, he's kicking a ball out there. He's doing all right. But these are people who are like...
He's in Thunderbolts.
I know. He's also kicking a ball. He was... these are big name stars, but Thunderbolts failed at the box office.
Has it?
Like it didn't do well.
Oh, really?
For Marvel numbers.
Right.
But I'm thinking... like
That's very different. Marvel numbers not doing well and it doing bad at the box office feel like different.
To say it did bad at the box office is unfair. It was critically well received, and it did good numbers, but it didn't do the numbers you'd expect a movie
From a
starring
Marvel film.
Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Wyatt Russell, who's out there kicking a ball. Like
I think you're not wrong, and I think the problem we've got is, especially with the MCU, the ensemble cast is no longer a thing. Well, no, sorry. The ensemble cast is too much of a thing now.
we're like...
So you're 100%. Let's take Wild Wild West as a prime example, and Independence Day. Will Smith was the face, right?
Yeah.
You've got who's in Wild Wild West? Kevin Costner.
No, it's not. It's Kevin Kline.
Kevin Kline.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Kline.
How do you get from Kevin Kline to Kevin Costner?
Too many Kevins. Kevin Costner. Kevin Kline and Will Smith and Brannigan.
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
And the actress?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney.
Anyway, my point being, like, Kenneth Branagh was so done up in makeup and at the time wasn't the biggest star. I feel like Kenneth Branagh is also one of those stars that's always just flown. He's known his lane.
He's more theatre than he is cinema.
Yeah, but then Kevin Kline.
I mean, Kevin Kline voice work in Hunchback of Notre Dame and El Dorado, fantastic.
Great voice work. But yeah, Will Smith was a face. So, but that's it. So one big name, a couple of like other big-ish names.
I mean,
Whereas
you are
now,
forgetting Independence Day had Brent Spiner from Star Trek.
Brent Spiner and it
Data.
had Bill Pullman.
Data.
And Tom Arnold?
Tom Arnold? Who?
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold was not in Independence Day.
Who's the guy that flies into the plane?
Oh, that's that nutter man who isn't Tom Arnold.
Randy Quaid.
It's Randy. How can you equate Tom Arnold with Randy Quaid?
They're both. Anyway, my point being, they've always had names, but you've got that one big headline. You're right.
Yeah,
like
you've got the
DiCaprio
headliner
back in the day.
and you could
Your headliner.
You could literally load up that movie onto their back, and they would carry it across the box office finish line.
And my point being that nowadays you look at any big films that are coming out now, any big films, and this is in two ways. Arguably, it's a good thing because it means that everyone's getting their fair dues.
Yeah, I guess it kind of like opens the field for everyone.
It's like we don't have a headliner; we have 6 headliners. What's Wes Anderson's new film, The Phoenician Scheme?
The Phoenician Scheme.
Who's in that? Like fucking Michael Cera.
Yeah, Michael Cera, Benicio del Toro. Willem Dafoe makes a wee appearance on there.
But they're all
Tom Hanks.
They're all, but like all of these people are up on the posters, and they're
Bryan
all
Cranston.
they're all in the posters. They're all in the trailers. So instead of it being like Wes Anderson's Phoenician Scheme with Benicio del Toro, it's like Wes Anderson's film ensemble cast, Thunderbolts ensemble cast.
I guess it was like.
Do you know what I mean?
Avengers, Fantastic Four,
Jurassic
World
World
Rebirth that's coming up. Like,
even Jurassic World, like I mean, Chris Pratt has done an okay job of being like the main headline man. Tom Holland, maybe another one.
I mean, Chris Pratt is an interesting main headline man because he went from like great comedy performance on Parks and Rec to next minute he went to stratospheric fame with Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Hollywood was like, you're going to be our next leading man. Yeah. And then after 2 franchises, everyone went, we don't want him as a leading man. And he's still like, obviously he still gets some of those roles like the Electric State or the Mario Brothers movie. Yeah. But no one's like, oh, want to go see the new Chris Pratt movie.
It is weird how like, quickly we all switched off Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Like people went so 180 on him.
Chris Hemsworth is another one. Like, and the other part of this is I do feel like once you're into like one of these stratospheres, once you're into the MCU or you're into certain little sections, you're kind of just locked in. Like, what the fuck else? What else has Chris Hemsworth done other than Thor for the last?
I mean, that's the interesting thing is when you look at something like Marvel. And I can't believe we're talking about Marvel, but I guess we're gonna.
And unfortunately, guys, the state of cinema right now, it is impossible to talk about pretty much anything.
We're going to circle it in a way
without Marvel fucking coming up. I genuinely am sorry about that. I really am. I don't even particularly like doing it anymore, but it's just fucking impossible. It's like trying to talk about like horse racing, except not referencing the horses.
I've got a good reference. It's like trying to talk about football, but not talk about Manchester United. I don't watch football, so I hope that's a good analogy.
It's like trying to talk about theme parks without talking about roller coasters.
Yeah,
you know, like it's unfortunately
and
just
according to Martin Scorsese, Marvel movies are just roller coasters.
They are just
that's
roller
a callback.
coasters.
Yeah, we'll circle around the Marvel universe because my point is
too deep in it.
The MCU has created stars, but hasn't created movie stars with legs. And what I mean by that is you look at Chris Hemsworth. Big star who came out from the MCU because before that no one really knew who he was.
Yeah.
But his movies aren't draws.
Yeah.
You look at Mad Max Furiosa last year.
Which was a shame because we spoke about that and he fucking ripped in that
He
film.
was fucking great in that. The movie was really good as well. Another brilliant George Miller movie. But it just didn't do numbers. No one really went to see it. It just kind of then got put onto streaming. And then he's been in those Extraction movies on Netflix where it's like people like them, but they don't grab anyone.
Yeah,
no one's like, have you seen the new Chris Hemsworth action movie? And it's the same with Chris Evans. Look at Chris Evans post MCU. He's done what?
MCU,
probably
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think the only other role I can think of Chris Evans is doing, which I was like, cool, is Knives Out.
Yeah, Knives Out is the only one where he was like, oh, he's really good in this. And everything else, he's done some good stuff, but it's not stuff that people are seeing or talking about. He's got that new movie coming out soon with Pedro Pascal and Dakota Johnson as well. And people are excited for it because it's the director who did Past Lives. But I don't think it's because Chris Evans is in the movie.
Yeah. So the hard part of it is I'm trying, it's a weird conversation because I think you're right that we don't necessarily need these big stars. Do we need these big stars? I don't even know where I land on this subject.
It's hard.
Will Smith used, all the ones that. But then, are we just doing nostalgia? Are we just nostalgia baiting ourselves?
How?
In 20 years' time, are people going to look back at the cinema that came out now and they're like, man, Ryan Gosling was an absolute fucking stormer in the noise? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we just like, well, it's not like it used to be back in the old day? When it is, it's just that we're
I'm not necessarily saying that I want movie stars to be like they were in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, where they are the draw. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's interesting that they're not that anymore.
Yeah.
And like trying to figure out why they're not that anymore. And maybe it's because your studios don't want them to be that anymore. The studio wants to put their coins onto a character that they can recast rather than an actor who they have to pay, i.e. Robert Downey Jr. numbers, where it's like, what, he was making $50 million on the first Avengers movie?
Yeah.
Whereas if they put it on a character or a franchise, they don't have to pay that fictional character fucking anything, because they'll just be like, you don't want to do it? You're out. That person's plug that person, and they're doing it now. Is it like that? Is it the studio system who's deliberately broken down the idea of a movie star so that they can't be held hostage by them?
I think that's an element. The other big thing I think that's happened, I believe this. I think that the general vibe of actors nowadays has
diminished.
Well, yeah, for lack of
Because they're
better
selling their bathwater.
No, so like back in the day, Will Smith would be in the film and then he'd go out and he would be all over he'd be all over the press line and he'd be doing interviews.
You see him on a TV interview.
And all this stuff. And all that stuff is still going on, don't get me wrong. But I do feel like when you watch these celebrities on interviews nowadays, there is definitely more of an apathetic like, oh, so what do you think about that last film? Yeah, it's fine. Like, cool, Jennifer Lawrence. Well, thanks for coming out to talk about Mother. And she's just like, I'm here because I'm filling my contractual obligation. But maybe this is just me projecting. But I do feel like celebrities nowadays just like, you see these, what's her name? Cara Delevingne, a prime example. Cara Delevingne turning up to interviews and she was just like,
what a weird. Okay.
No, but like this is a really Cara Delevingne has turned up to so many interviews. There are so many clips of Cara Delevingne online where she's turned up to interviews and they're like, Cara Delevingne, thanks for coming out. And she's like, yeah, thanks. And they're like, what do you think about the film that you were just in? And she's like, it's a film, it's fine. And they're like, what were the challenges you faced? And she's like, there weren't any challenges. I turned up to a green screen and I filmed. You know what I mean?
And I got paid lots of money.
And she's kind of just like, this is stupid. You know it's stupid. I don't give a fuck. Why are we doing any of this? And she's kind of like the top of that mountain. I can't think of anyone else that's been quite as blunt as that. But between that and then on the other side, where interviewers nowadays, because there's such need for interaction and content bait and clicks, so many interviewers, and it probably feeds into it. These celebrities that used to turn up to it and they would just get asked about the film. Cara Delevingne can't be fucked, but then they're turning up to these interviews and the interview is like, do you want to play a game with me?
I hate it so
Do you want to play a
much.
game with me where I'll say a fruit and you say the first thing? And the guy's like, yeah, okay, well, I was in the new Avengers film. They're like, yeah, but what about if I say blueberry? And they're like, pancakes. And like,
Can you believe that?
boing, up on the screen. And it's kind of like...
Chris Hemsworth chose pancakes over waffles.
So it's all like all these little factors just feeding into that. I think celebs kind of can't be fucked being the promotional material.
Yeah.
Film. They want to act, they want to get paid, and a lot of celebrities are still choosing films based on, I want to be in this, but they are out of the woods now of like, look, you paid me and I will fulfill my contractual obligation of I'll do the press junkets, but I actually can't be fucked. I'm not the salesman for your film. That's the marketing team.
The most interesting thing now, building off that point, is there is this incessant need, it feels like, from studios to like, we need to put the star in front of the movie so that they do the hot ones and they do the playing with the puppies and they whatever,
all that shit. Yeah,
they go in Jimmy Fallon and spit water at each other or something. I don't know if that's...
We're going to get Tom Holland to read off the top 10 Tom Holland searches.
Yeah.
Does Tom Holland bathe in his mother's bathwater? We're on the bathwater thing. It's in my mind. I can't get out of that.
You're not having a bath together after this.
You know what I mean? All
After every
these-
episode, we have a bath together to wash
all
the
these
movies
things.
off.
Back in the day, they would turn up and they'd have their interview and they'd sit and they'd do they probably do 20 fucking interviews with various different... I've always wondered with that. You know when you see
I think it's, you go to...
there's a poster, Robert Downey Jr. sitting in front of it. Do they just have like one interviewer come in and he's like, hey, Robert Downey Jr., thanks so much. I'm from the BBC. Let's do our interview. And then that guy walks out and someone else walks in and is like, "Hey, Robert Downey Jr., I'm from Fox News.
Yep.
Are you ready for an interview?"
So yeah, it's the press junket run where they book out a floor of a hotel. They'll put the star or stars in a room. They'll set up all the lights and all the cameras, and then the interview come in, you give your information, they record it, give you your cut, you leave with it.
Fucking hell.
And then they'll also do
No wonder these celebs are just getting sick
they'll
of
also
that
do
shit.
satellite ones as well, which is right, cool. Now we're going to have you talk to such and such on the East Coast. Yeah. So then they put in the wee earpiece, and it's like, oh, we've got Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans here, and they're in the new Captain America. What do you think about it, Chris? And I go, oh, well, I thought it was a great time. Oh, this Robert, I don't like him because we're against each other. that's so much fun. Anyway, now we're going to cut away from this, and now we have a piece on how cakes can make you less fat if you eat them upside down. Thanks, Chris and Robert. And then Chris and Robert continue to sit in the room, and they go, cool, now we've got such and such from Variety coming in, and they want to play a Guess Who game with the female actresses' butts.
I think because that's the thing. I'm thinking about when the interviews that I see. BBC, what's his name? Ali Plum, is it?
Yeah,
Ali Plum. I see those interviews, and then I'm thinking Amanda Dimildon, who does the chicken shop.
Amelia D'Amelio.
Yeah,
he does the chicken shop stuff.
Who the fuck is Amanda Demilder?
I mean, as we've learned so far, names is not your strong point.
Anyway, Chicken Shop Day, she's another one because she's British. I obviously get the British one. But they're obviously doing these junkets for, fuck knows how many. Could you imagine? And again, Cara Delevingne being a prime one. Imagine getting to the end of the day and it's being like, hey, so we've got sunny sided up at Australian news. And you're like, It's 11 o'clock at night and I've done 100 of these. And you're like, it's the last one. And then some sunny dickheads who haven't dealt with 100 fucking interviews are like, hi there, how are you getting on today? Thanks so much for joining us. And you're like...
And it's like you say, they're coming in, like the person who's doing the interview is coming in with the intention of, I want to get my click moment out of this. I want to get my viral moment out of this. So I'm going to feed them something to get my viral moment. And then it could be the most inane nothing thing, but they'll just put, and then they'll put it up on, it goes up on TikTok, goes up on Instagram. But then what this feeds into, and this is what happens for me a lot of the time, is we both love movies. I'm always in the movie stratosphere of like watching all sorts about different things. Is you get fed so much of an actor by some point that Timothée Chalamet is a perfect example for me. He was doing that run where he was doing like Dune and A Complete Unknown and like all this sorts of stuff. And I just got to the point where I'm like, I can't look at Timothée Chalamet anymore, especially when award season then came around and he was nominated for A Complete Unknown. And so we've then doing more junkets and more interviews.
This is the other part of this. And I think Timothée Chalamet is a great fucking example. This is the other side of this coin. Go back to Will Smith. A film... It wasn't a film a year, was it? It was maybe every 2, maybe 3 years.
Yeah, there was a much more of a gap in between seeing.
And you'd be excited for the next one, but you're like, oh, Will Smith's in this film, but there'd be a gap. Whereas Timothée Chalamet, they're filming like 6 films at once usually, and then you just get,
or they're going back to back to back.
Yeah, you're just getting this stream of movies where you're like you say, June, Wonka.
Wonka was in there as well.
What else is there? Like you get this stream of movies where you're kind of like, I'm kind of just sick of seeing Timothée Chalamet now.
And it's not the actor's fault.
No, absolutely.
I don't blame the actor in this situation because it's just the schedule in which the studios are like. Because Glenn Powell's going to be a perfect example. He's just finished Edgar Wright's movie. He's currently here in Glasgow filming J.J. Abrams' movie. And then he's got another project as well. All those movies are going to come out in 2026. So we're going to get Glenn Powell out the fucking arsehole with him doing Hot Ones and Puppies and Jimmy Fallon and Graham Norton and going round and round and round, and we're just going to see so much of him. And it's going to be like, look at this.
Do you reckon that? So do you think it's more of a do you reckon it's us? Do you reckon we're now turned off by the kind of big celebrity spectacle?
It could.
Do you think the average person is kind of like, there is no big celebrity spectacle because they're just in my face all the fucking time.
It could be that, which is
the area that the mystique around celebrity is kind of being ripped open as well.
Yeah, because
we all know everything about every fucking one of them.
Like you would say, like Will Smith would do Independence Day. He'd do the junket run, you'd get the funny Will Smith moments when he's on the talk show with David Letterman or something, and you go, right, cool. And once the movie's out, Will Smith disappears and he goes off to film another movie or to try and do another album or something like that. And then 2.5 years maybe goes by, Will Smith ramps back up with his next big box office hit. You go, oh, I've not seen Will Smith in a bit. What's he up to? Whereas, now it's like, here's Glenn Powell. Right, here's Glenn Powell again. Here's a wee bit more Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell's now on the red carpet doing this thing. Here's some more. And it just becomes like, I can't look at Florence Pugh or Glenn Powell or Timothée Chalamet or just like constant. Here they are all the time.
Do you know what the other problem is? And this is another contributing factor to this entire issue. The general worry that celebrities must be living with of like, I have to be PR trained to perfection.
Need to be on.
Can't go on Jay Leno, not Jay Leno anymore, fucking hell, but can't go on Jimmy Fallon, I meant.
Yeah.
Can't go on Jimmy Fallon and be like, hey, how you been? Thanks so much for joining me on the show. Like, yeah, cool. We're going to play karaoke rock and roll. It's my new game I've invented. Oh, Jimmy, I don't care.
So do you mind if we don't?
Jimmy, I just don't care.
I'm not feeling
whoa, we've got you out on the show today. Like, Jimmy, man, I don't care. Like, can we just talk about something?
The headline is like, Timothée Chalamet kills the vibe of Jimmy Fallon.
Timothée Chalamet ruins Jimmy Fallon's show. And it's like,
look how ungrateful he is. He's an
comments.
actor.
Timothée Chalamet is a fucking prick. He gets paid so much money. And
I remember one time he came in, and then this like negativity.
It's this whole fucking thing.
Like he came into this restaurant one time and he was really mean to the waitress. He goes, "Yeah, I've heard he's not actually that nice. I've heard he's," and then like it all just
stock
starts
plummets. There's just too many. I think there's too many things nowadays that celebs kind of just can't be fucked with, and no wonder.
It is relentless. Like when you see you just scroll through YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and it's just this relentless onslaught of this is the actor promoting their movie, and they're doing the funny like stand on the blue side or the right side of what you think, what your opinion is in this thing.
Are we curmudgeons? Are we just curmudgeons? Are we devoid of joy? Do people? Are we just two dickheads now who talk about films and we're like, I don't like any of this stuff, and actually,
it's not as being curmudgeons when it comes from the perspective of maybe just leave these people alone.
That's true.
I'm not coming at this again. None of this we're coming at is these fucking actors. Can they just fuck up? I'm coming at is just. Give them a bit of peace, like...
I've thought of another reason actually, that I think might be another contributing factor, but I was reading something recently, which was the fact that TV was always obviously belied as like, it's less important than film. So if you're an actor on TV, you're not a film actor, you're a TV actor. Whereas now that line further has been blurred. So we get big film actors appearing on TV shows, big TV shows, which again adds into the fact that they're always promoting something. But we get TV actors appearing on the big screen, and it's kind of like there's less of a defined you're for TV, you're for film.
Yeah, there's no split anymore.
Yeah, which is again good. I don't hate that, but I do again think that kind of adds into the. We don't have these big names. You don't have a big drawing name anymore because it's like, but Sam Rockwell's in this, and it's like, yeah, well, he was in a TV show I watched last week.
He was just in White Lotus season 3.
I love that show, and it's like, all right, you don't want to come see the film? And I'm like, I've kind of had my fill of Sam Rockwell recently. Like I've just watched 12 episodes or something.
Yeah, that's an interesting aspect I guess I didn't consider was there was that defined split.
Yeah,
and now you had the movie stars, you had Tom Cruise, you had Will Smith. I can't think of it.
Will Smith's a really bad example on this one because he was in Fresh Prince. But then after Fresh Prince,
but then after that, he was a movie.
He made the leap to movie.
He was like a franchise-leading movie star. Yeah. He was a box office draw. Tom Cruise.
Has Tom Cruise ever done a TV show other than maybe the occasional cameo in various projects?
I don't know if he has.
I don't think Tom Cruise. Do you know what I mean? But Tom Hanks. Ever done
Tom
a TV
Hanks?
show?
No, I think he's done like an Apple TV Plus show or something.
Yeah, Apple TV's like, really
something like that.
Pushing it. This brings us back around to, we spoke about this slightly off mic, which was a part of the reason for this, but I just watched The Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, the new Guy Ritchie movie on Apple
New
TV
Guy
Plus.
Ritchie film, which was on Apple TV Plus. I did not know this film existed until I saw a clip on TikTok. Not from a press junket or anything, just someone had taken 40 seconds, an interesting enough 40 seconds to catch my interest.
You might be the only person.
Might be the only person. I went and watched it. John Krasinski, Natalie Portman,
Domhnall Gleeson. They're the three big ones. Is that it? Yeah. And then a smattering of other. Stanley Tucci's got not a cameo. He's there promoting his pasta pot range.
And I don't know who the other female actress is. I actually don't know her full stop. So you're looking at what? 3, 4 big names, huge names. And like none of them and interestingly, all of those, Krasinski, Domhnall Gleeson, Tucci, and Portman are all big enough names that you would assume that you'd be like, one of these people is enough that you'd think it's an Apple film, so I don't even know if it hit the cinema, but you'd think it was enough to like pull people in. But like, you hadn't even fucking heard of it. So yeah, I didn't know it existed. You know what I mean? Like, I like Krasinski.
It's if I see the words directed by Guy Ritchie, if I see those words in a trailer or in a press release, for sure, I'll be like, peace, see you later.
I'm good.
Because Guy Ritchie, fuck me, has given up.
That film, I didn't speak to you much about this, but that film, this is getting slightly off topic, but I'm going to talk about Fan of the Youth. I'm going to talk about Fan of the Youth for a little bit. That film was mind-boggling to me. So John Krasinski and Natalie Portman play brother and sister who just hate each other. They're like, the whole film, they're bickering and they're moody and they don't really like each other. John Krasinski's kind of like, oh, I'm full of charisma and I'm whimsical. And Natalie Portman's just playing a curmudgeon, for lack of a better term. And by the end of the movie, when it's coming down to like, oh, spoilers, Domhnall Gleeson's the villain. Natalie Portman and John Krasinski are the good guys. All the people you thought were the bad guys are the good guys. It's basically The Mummy, by the way. Stanley Tucci.
I saw it looked like The Mummy meets National Treasure.
Yeah, it's very, very right down. It's trying to be that family friendly thing. The bad guys, the Magi are actually the good guys. So all of this shit's in there. And by the time it got to it, and it was like, you can't, Natalie Portman, you can't do this, Domhnall Gleeson. This is an ancient pyramid. You shouldn't be smashing your way through it. What if you're going to use the Fountain of Youth to bottle it and sell it? That's not okay. I was like, she's right. I understand morally she's right, but I fucking hate her so much that I don't want her to win. Why would you write a character like that who's just this like, I don't know, it's a bizarre film. Domhnall Gleeson also, until his like third act reveal as the villain, and even after that, I have never, Gav, never have I seen a performance of a man who's
less
like,
muted performance.
I'm getting paid and I don't care. I could not give a shit. It's crazy how little he's trying.
Was it Domhnall Gleeson who was in that Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Emily Blunt movie where he's like, it's based upon a theme park ride?
No, that was you took Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
That was the comedian Jack Whitehall.
No, he was like, who was the villain in the submarine? Was it Domhnall Gleeson? Do you remember who the villain was in the submarine? Because it was Jesse Plemons. That's who it was. Jesse Plemons. Because I remember someone put on like an awkward German accent. Yeah. And I was like, was that Domhnall Gleeson? Because he sometimes fades into a movie.
Domhnall Gleeson, anytime I think of Domhnall Gleeson, I'm like, he's maybe he picks weird roles, but he's always giving it his fucking best. That weird cyber hacker in Judge Dredd.
Oh, yeah.
General Hux.
Ex
Machina, he's great. That episode of Black Mirror.
I mean, his performance as General Hux in the Star Wars movies, I would say wasn't good, but that's just my personal opinion.
He's playing a cartoonishly evil Nazi. I'm fine with that.
But then the movie's trying to not be cartoonishly evil, and it all just felt like
Star Wars is cartoonish. It's stupid.
Let's not do that. Let's not go down that
General Hux is an over the top character, but like at least he's throwing himself into it.
Yeah.
In Fountain of Youth, he's like, you could have replaced him with a piece of like a cardboard cutout of Domhnall Gleeson and it would have had the same effect.
Ish.
And I don't actually even blame Domhnall Gleeson. It's crazy because he doesn't.
I blame Guy Ritchie.
It doesn't feel like Domhnall Gleeson's there like not trying because he's like it's not like he's giving a bad performance. He's just not giving a performance. I don't get it. Maybe all his lines got cut. Maybe
the weird
I don't
thing,
fucking know.
I mean,
it's a terrible film.
The weird offshoot to that is Guy Ritchie now, who's just doing movies for streaming because his last. So he did short series for Netflix. He's done multiple movies for Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And now he's doing a movie for Apple TV Plus. And I think it's just like, who will give me some money to make the most nothing movie to put onto their streaming service that no one will watch or talk about or care about? And then he'll make 3 a year.
Yeah.
He made a movie last year with Jake Gyllenhaal, which was like an Iraq war, like, I've been left behind enemy lines, I hope someone saves me. And also then made another movie with Jason Statham and Hugh Grant, where it's like one's an arms dealer and he has to get an actor to pretend to be someone. And then he did another movie with Jason Statham where he works as a one of them guys who drives armored trucks, but he's getting in there to kill. And I was just like, these are all the same year? And now he's doing Operation, which I didn't know came out, this John Krasinski movie, and he's got another movie coming out this year as well. That I'm just like,
just farting him out at this
what
point.
Are you doing, guy? You used
Just
to be like,
he's like finishing a film, hopping on a plane, flying to the next location, getting back in his director's caravan.
Oh, but it's not even that, because I watched a video of him where he was filming a movie with Jason Statham, and it was him on Zoom directing Jason Statham in a scene.
Wait, what? What do you mean he was on Zoom?
So yeah, like he was just sitting in a chair in like an office somewhere, looking at Jason Statham on the Zoom, being like, right, Jason, so in the scene, this is what we're going to do this, and
This
this.
is what I mean. I don't get it. I don't understand what
Why
the fuck's
even
going
bother
on.
at that point, guy? You
It's
used to be an
crazy.
established British director who people were excited about when you had a new movie. Now you have just farted out so much fucking drech that no one gives a fuck anymore. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's another person we should talk about when it comes to movie stars.
Dwayne, I'm trying to think on one hand, like, let's just, like,
Who are the movie stars of today?
it is hard because I just don't care about
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was
for a hot minute. But
Yeah.
but this is the other problem. I feel like, again, and I can't tell if we're like slipping into, it's because we have nostalgia on our side. I can't tell if I'm thinking like Robin Williams back in the day. Will
Jim
Smith.
Carrey was another one.
Jim Carrey.
Bruce Willis.
I can't tell if we're thinking about these people just because we love
Arnold
them.
Schwarzenegger.
Because these people are still coming. Sylvester Stallone. But it just, what it feels like now is that the limelight is on them for a shorter but more focused time. So back in the day, an actor's career would be like bathed in an orange glow. I'm going to stick with the light metaphor here. Bathed in an orange glow with occasional like spotlights, you know? Whereas now it's like you get hit with the force of a sun for 3 years and then you go down to like 10% dim. you know what I mean? You're like,
Well,
you're like,
you really ran out of that fucking
yeah, I can
light
think,
metaphor.
but you know, but I think that's
the
I
light
genuinely
really
think that's the
bled
case.
out of that one.
Good. I think that's the case though. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence for a hot minute.
Florence Pugh's now looking
Florence
to be
Pugh,
that way.
She's like had a big Hereditary. She's in the Avengers now. It does feel like
Florence Pugh
Pugh's
wasn't
kind
in
of.
Hereditary, but that was nice.
No, she's in
Midsummer.
Midsummer. Sorry, Hereditary. The same director.
I was going to say, did she play the little girl who, spoilers, got her head taken off? Like, that Florence Pugh's a chameleon.
But yeah, like it does feel like you get blasted by it. You get
Blasted.
like in that film Sunshine. You lift up the visor, you get, and then that's you for.
Just a quick meandering aside. The cast for Sunshine, by the way.
Holy fuck! Did you watch it recently?
No, but I watch it maybe every couple of years. I love that movie so much.
What I find crazy is every time I watch it, every time I'm like, oh yeah, Benedict Wong. Holy fuck, there's Rose Byrne.
Mark Strong is here.
Yeah.
Like Haruyu Saneda. Yeah, Chris Evans, like
So many
Michelle
people.
Yeoh,
Yeah,
like
fucking everyone's in that
it's
film.
an insane. I think it's because Cillian Murphy also.
Cillian Murphy.
But I think it's just because like Daniel Boyle was coming off of that like Train Spotting and 28 Days Later kind of like beach run, and he was like the guy that everyone's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll sign up for a movie.
I don't understand the film Sunshine.
What do you mean you don't understand?
I've watched it so many times. I enjoy watching it. I get to the end of it every time, and I'm like, why didn't that guy go crazy though? Because
Also random that it's Mark Strong.
he just got blasted by the sun.
I think it's
And
more
he
like
just gets, he just gets crispy, and then he just decides he wants to get blasted by the sun one more time. I don't quite.
is it not more like similar to what happens to the captain on the second ship, where like there's this kind of like ethereal religious like experience to the sun, where having it do that to you, it's like overcomes you because of its majesty. It's like looking into the eyes of God. And so for him, he was like, I want to look into the eye of God again, because he looked into it so much that he burned up. That's my interpretation.
And I don't think you're wrong necessarily. And I love the film. But my point being, I watch it and I'm like, I get it. I know you needed a villain. I just think it's weird that the villain was a guy who's christened himself up and is in love with the sun. I don't know. It's my brain. Every time I watch it, my brain's like, that's a weird villain. You should have just made it the computer failed because it got blasted by a sun flare.
Here's the thing that I think everyone will agree. If you don't, let me know in the comments that third act is where the movie loses it. Like, get that whole Mark Strong weird, like, villain in the Ducks thing out.
It almost feels like they wanted to pivot to it's like, oh, it's an alien, but they're like, that's too far fetched.
Yeah,
make him sun crazy.
And also probably that was how they sold it, like trailer wise.
Kind of goes like horror.
Like it's gonna look, because they probably went, it's like Alien with sun.
So anyway, that's why I love the film. I love the film, but. That's just an odd.
Let's circle back around.
Never quite got it.
Who are the movie stars of? Well, in fact, who are the movie stars of today that are currently getting that
right now?
I think Austin Butler's one they're trying to make.
Austin Butler, Timothée Chalamet.
I would say
might be on the way.
I was saying his is starting to fade out.
It's starting to fade. Austin Butler's a good shout. Who
Sydney
you talking about earlier?
Sydney
Sweeney. Who are you talking about earlier? It's going to be in Glenn Powell.
Yeah, Glenn Powell's, he's definitely got that going on just now. Like, he's just going up and up and up.
I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal,
he
100%.
Is number one on the list he is getting absolutely sunburnt, blasted from mouth to ass.
I think Pedro Pascal might be the one that's... at the moment, it feels like Pedro Pascal might just continue. He might just be like, oh, he's always going to be a beloved celeb now.
I keep wondering when the shift will happen.
Yeah.
And if it will happen, because he's had such an incredible run. If you like post Game of Thrones with like having The Mandalorian, having The Last of Us, but then also the movies he's chosen to do, whether it's big movies or small movies, he always delivers something. Like, he's in Ari Aster's upcoming movie, Eddington. Yeah. He's got, obviously, Fantastic Four. He's just had The Last of Us Season 2. He's got that movie coming out with Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans. Like, the man's fucking blasting it out. Yeah. And he's everywhere all the time, but he seems to be the one that people aren't like, oh, sick of him.
I think that's just this sheer charisma. I think it's because when he comes up to interviews, he's skirting that line perfectly of like, hey, Pedro Pascal, something's going to come out. Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Jimmy Fallon. How you feeling? I'm pretty good. I've just microdosed. And you're like, ah. And you, like, all the things that would, like, I think every other actor would be worried about admitting, he's just kind of like unashamedly. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's kind of just like, yeah. No, I'm totally in a pegging.
He's doing the Jennifer Lawrence, but not going the full, like, to 11. He's bringing it down to, like, 8 or 9, where he's like, yeah, I'm just microdosing. And people are like, oh, that was a genuine, like, human comment, and not just him being like, I'm microdosing because in this movie I microdose. And the movie's actually about, blah, 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 blah. Like, so yeah, I'm just worried that he might fall off, because I don't want him to fall off. I love Pedro Pascal deeply. Everyone does.
Who else is big? I'm trying to think. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's came and went.
Yeah, Tom Holland.
He's got a new Spider-Man movie.
I feel like Tom Holland has a potential to come back.
Do you know who I think?
Zendaya's gone.
I was going to say Zendaya's actually, like, because she's with the movies and the TV, because she's got Euphoria.
Yeah,
she's really good at, like, being around for Challengers, like when that came out.
Yeah.
Being a genuine human being, speaking her mind, and then being like, cool, I'm just going to disappear for a wee bit.
Yeah.
And then
Zendaya might actually, maybe.
And then when she does come back, she's able to, like, come straight back up again.
Who else do you think? You get any other names?
Oh, who else? I mean, I'm trying to think. Will Poulter seems to be trying to spurl up.
No, Will Poulter's absolutely not.
I feel like he's trying to spurl something up.
Will Poulter.
No,
absolutely not.
Don't believe in Will Poulter?
No.
I mean,
Will Poulter turns up, gives a performance, disappears. And then until the next Will Poulter turns up, and I'm like, oh yeah, there he is again.
I disagree.
Name a few projects Will Poulter's done that are mind blowing. Wow, Will Poulter really fucking blew my socks off.
I mean, the movie.
I rest. Wait, was enough.
The movie from this year where It's an ensemble cast, and the movie's incredible. It's the movie Warfare, which was co-directed by Alex Garland. It's not your type of movie. I wouldn't recommend it to you, but I would recommend check out Warfare with Will Poulter's in that. It's a really fucking good movie.
I'm gonna watch it.
You won't like it.
Why?
It's just not your type of movie.
What do you mean it's not my type of movie?
I'll show you the trailer afterwards, and you'll be like, "Yeah."
Wait, why is it not my type of movie?
Because
I like Jarhead. I like The Hurt Locker. I like 1917.
You sound like an old person talking about the internet. I like the Facebook. I like the MySpace.
I like some war
just
films.
the way you were like, I like the Jarhead. I like the Hurt Locker. Oh, good for you.
It's called The Hurt Locker.
It's just the way you presented it. You sound like an old person talking about the internet.
Anyway, I like war films.
I'm trying to think.
Do you know what? Here's what else Will Poulter's done. A really weird fucking character in Black Mirror.
Came back for it again.
Yeah, weird though.
It's a good character.
Not.
Not like it?
It's a weird character.
Oh,
It's not a bad character. It's just a weird comic character. Adam Warlock, Guardians of the Galaxy. That film that he was in with Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman.
I mean, here's the big question. Because we're leading up to it. Superman will soon be among us. Mm-hmm. Is the actor David Corenswell, I think his name is he about to either...
I don't know him from anything other than the upcoming Superman.
I've seen him in Twisters, the Glenn Powell one, and I've seen him in Peril with Mia Goth. He's in that for a wee bit. I liked him in Twisters. He played a good dickhole.
I was going to say Carville, going on to Superman, Carville has, I think Carville sunsetted himself though. Carville was just like, hey, I made enough money to play with Warhammer for the rest of my life and I'm good.
I mean, currently...
I'm okay now. See you later.
He's got the Voltron movie coming out, and he's also got... He's co-writing a Warhammer movie, but I think the two things that because he's now leaning into his nerdy stuff, which all power to him,
fair.
but I don't think either of the things he's leaning into are going to take off the way he hopes they will. Also, I think after how he got treated in Superman, he's like, I don't want to do this franchise shit for a while.
Yeah.
Because he got battered about pretty shitly.
I just don't think, I think the day of the single big pull celebrities is done, personally. I think like we already said, all those contributing factors, everything that goes into it, I think it's finished. I think people like what they like now, and I think they'll make... I can't imagine ever seeing an actor on a film. Personally, I can't imagine ever seeing an actor in a film and being like, I'm going to go see that. I care more about the directors.
True.
And writers.
If I'm going to choose a film... Sorry to just walk over your point there, because your point was leading exactly where I'm about to lead it to, which is... Okay. I've done a U for once. Is it... I'm choosing a film based on the filmmaker and their previous work and the writer and their previous work.
How funny is it that nobody gives a fuck about the production company? You're kind of just like...
Unless you're A24 or Neon.
Yeah. But then even them...
those are the two where people are like, oh, it's a new A24 movie. Then everyone's like, oh, got to go see it. But if it's like, oh...
Warner Brothers.
Paramount have a new movie. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Twisted Pictures. My favourite.
Oh, what's that one?
Dark Horse.
Really, Scot-free.
What's that one with the statue and he lets an arrow go through
TSG?
all the axes? Is it TSG? Through all the axe heads?
This is a game that I play. This is a really mad aside. This is a game I play when I go to watch the cinema, because I go to watch the cinema when I go to watch a movie.
You sound like an old man. When I go to watch the cinema,
I gotta watch the cinema. When I go to the movies, because I watch so many movies, I try to guess what the production company is before it tells me what the production company is.
That's fun.
Is that sad?
Yes.
Okay. So TSG.
What's this one? A claymation hand stirring a cup of tea.
Oh, that's Jordan Peele's one. Monkey Hand or something? I think it's Monkey Paw.
Is it Monkey Paw? I was going to say Blumhouse, but I think...
That's Jordan Peele's production company.
I know it's on a lot of Blumhouse films, is why I was saying it. Monkey Paw.
I even know, so for example, Plan B, that's Brad Pitt's production company.
Oh, okay.
So then I try to, if I already know what it's going to be, or it just says it, then I'm like, oh, then who's... I'm so sad. I watched too many movies, but I'm learning who the production companies are and stuff. Sometimes production company can lead me to a movie like A24 or Plan B.
Yeah.
Neon's the one that's starting to come up because they just had long legs and stuff, and that monkey one that we watched that Oz Perkins did.
What?
Remember that it was like the evil monkey?
Oh, the monkey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just the monkey.
That was on me, actually. You said the monkey one, but I think as you added the one, I was like, what the fuck? I thought I was picturing a real monkey, not a little toy monkey.
But yeah, I think you've
What a weird... Do you know that fact? The reason they didn't use the classic cymbal bashing monkey?
Yeah, because Disney owns like the copyright or
No,
something.
I looked and you told me that, and I was like, that feels nonsense. They didn't want to use the cymbal clashing monkey, not because Disney owns the copyright to it, because they were worried Disney owns the copyright to it.
Oh, so they didn't even check.
They didn't check, but they were like, rather than even go near the mouse's wrath, we'll change it, and that prevents any, like, just in fucking case, lest our film gets shut down, or we have to pay every penny of it to fucking the House of Mouse. So they were just like, fuck it, we'll just change the monkey.
I mean, yeah, that's
How weird is that?
It's weird they wouldn't check,
right?
like just about hey, but then they didn't even use it because I was going to say like they would be worried to ask, and then Disney be like, no, we actually don't have that. Fuck. Yeah, well now we do.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, it's weird they just didn't even bite. Because Osgood Perkins seems like someone who would bite the bullet.
Yeah, I just thought it was very interesting.
I'll be amazed if that stays in the episode. So
don't cut my fucking shit.
Maybe you'll know what he's talking about. Maybe you won't. I wonder if any of that will stay in the episode at all. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, sorry.
And wind this down because I feel we've
tapped it.
We've meandered. We've rambled. Have we hit the point? I don't really know.
Much like Petronella Osgood in Doctor Who.
Stop it! Stop referencing things I'm cutting from the episode.
I feel like we need to hold up a mirror to ourselves and accept that it's not just you and I. It's the other versions of us that are pink aliens.
Anyway.
You finish us. You finish us off.
Oh, I'll finish us. I'll fucking finish you first.
Finish us off.
Have we reached the conclusion if our movie stars are relevant or not? I don't know. All I know is that movie stars for me aren't as important to the movie as is the writer director is at this point for me. Like obviously the performances are very important. It's just the actor.
Well, for the performance to sell a film, I just don't know if I think my biggest gripe, I think the genuinely biggest problem is that it's just that it's the constant exposure. Constant exposure is genuinely hurting the celebrity movement.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
And studios want the celebrity, but because they're just like, holy fuck, they're doing big. They're beloved at the moment. Ram it down everyone's throat. Ram it down everyone's throat. Go, go, go. Like Doctor Who. Because it's big. Ram it down everyone's throat.
Stop talking about Doctor Who.
Ram it down everyone's throat. Take it. Because it's just constant exposure, then very much quicker than we used to, you're like, and then the studios are like, fuck, who's next?
Yeah.
And it just becomes, it's just an endless cycle.
It is like capitalism in a way where it's just like,
just exactly like capitalism.
More, new thing, get rid of the old thing, new thing. Yeah, you're summary of like they get blasted with a massive light for a short period of time and then disappear, and then the next thing spills up. So there's no chance to ever build stars, so then they don't have to ever pay the Robert Downey Jr. numbers to a star. Yeah, maybe we did actually answer it.
We did.
That's the answer right there.
Thanks.
What do you think?
Job.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. Comment down below. If you're listening on Spotify, there is a comment section. You can leave us comments and we do respond and we will chat to you. Leave a comment on Spotify. If not, Instagram, DM us, chat with us. We'll have posts up all the time. TikTok's the same. Let's have a wee chat. Let's interact. This has been the Meandering Movie Podcast. That has been
Gary Coburn's Spaghetti Bolognese.
I have been Gavin, Sydney Sweeney's Bathwater Stewart. This has been the Meandering Movie Podcast. I literally just said that, but I said it again. Thank you very much. We'll be back next in 2 weeks
with more Spaghetti Bolognese
with Sydney Sweeney's Bathwater.
Spagball.
Spagball. Spagball.
Spagball.
Spagball.
Spagball.
Spagball. Spagball. Spagball.
Spagball.
Spagball.
Goulash.